welcome to the stream. For today's stream I'm trying something a bit different. Today we are taking a Boeing 727 with FSX pilot across to Munich, and then from there I'm going to use It's Your Plane to take a 737 across to Madrid. That'll be...
Just check that your mic is working.
Yeah. I'm going to... it's a bit of a different approach, obviously, as one of them will be checklists.
One won't.
Yeah. Okay, I'm live. Okay. Yep, we are fine.
Goody.
Okay, I'm going to copy the link, get it on Twitter and stuff, which is at Blind Flight Simmer. No, it's actually at B_Flight Simmer. And yeah, I have the live chat working now, because I didn't have it last time and people were asking questions, and there was someone, I can't remember, but I read the live chat after, who was being really helpful and giving and even, you know, told me how to get rid of the ATC menu, and I didn't know how to do that. And unfortunately I couldn't read their things, but thank you to whoever that was. I can't remember the username now, but someone was telling me what to do. Right.
Give me this stream.
So
It's saying it's online, but it's not letting me watch it.
okay. Are we streaming?
I don't know, it's not letting me watch it. It's saying it's online, but it's just taking me to your channel when it's not appearing.
Oh. If you go onto my channel, it's there. So, alright, that is on Twitter. No, we're not using X-Plane. I wish we were, but we're not. Anyway, I'm going to put us in the cockpit in a minute. We're on the runway. Okay. So yeah, FSX pilot, which we're going to use first to get us to Munich, will be a very, you know, it's kind of automated. I don't have to do a lot, and then we'll use the checklist of It's Your Plane, which is It's Your Plane's not necessarily known for its reliability. It's can stop working and things, but
yeah, you can just message me the link because it's messed up this big time.
okay, I'll send you the link now then. Paste and send. There you go.
No, I don't want to watch somebody who can't get a Cessna to start.
No, they won't be flying, clearly. Right, that is tweeted out to all the
They got it started in the end, but I wouldn't
places.
trust that engine.
Right, and there is an annoying buzzing noise because this laptop is charging. I think
71% AC power on.
yeah, 71%. So I might be able to take it off soon, but it needs to charge, and that is why we're getting the buzzing noise, because it does that when the charger's plugged in. Okay. This is going to be the
Microsoft Flight Simulator
cockpit.
Microsoft.
That is what it sounds like. The engines aren't actually on yet. And that is the full screen view. This is outside of the plane. This is that's what we're going to be flying today. Firstly, anyway.
Profile 1. Menu. Microsoft profile. Skype train. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Folder view list.
Right.
Open broadcaster
I'm
software.
just
Click
going
F.
to get
Delete shortcut. Contact. Open Pinterest. Run as administrator. Folder view list.
FSX pilot up, and someone asked me last time in the live chat I saw after the video, what do I use?
Scenes open. Autopilot.
I use to stream and record my screen. I use Open Broadcaster software. You can in there put your YouTube stream key once you've found it on the YouTube website, and then you just hit start streaming, and as long as you've got it set up to do your screen, mine used to just be set up for audio, but I've got it set up to stream video now, it will do that, and just record. So
Yes.
and you can also just do a recording.
Yeah, which I was doing last night, and it's a decision that I will regret.
What, recording? Why
I
will
lost
you
an
regret
FSX
it?
plane. I lost an FSX plane. I'm not exactly sure why.
Oh, is that your Mooney that you crashed?
I was on the plane and it crashed. I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong.
Yeah.
I tried to set it up to do the ILS into Gatwick, runway 8 or something. It seemed to do the ILS pretty good. I went into the panel to see how far we were away from the field, and well,
Folder view. Start. Use.
I'm just going to turn you up a bit,
Actions.
Marshall. You're
System 3 input. User VM600 speakers. Uncom troubleshoot. Open up. Unknown.
a bit quiet.
Select mute speakers tool. Dialog autopilot. Mute dialog profile. Mute dialog Steam client boost.
It's alright, Marshall. Just send it me
dialog
and
Microsoft
I'll
Flight
put it
Simulator
on
X.
up as a
Mute
separate
dialog site
video
browser.
for your crash, because
Mute dialog site trademark to the Clan Webster 44. Volume for site 21.
it's
22.
even Skype
20,
system
25.
sound thing isn't so good.
Autopilot main panel.
Right, there we go.
yeah, yeah. We basically we went to 1,000, and I just thought, okay, maybe it's just gonna capture the ILS and it's gonna start descending real slow, and it didn't. We lost about 500 feet of altitude in about 5 seconds, then down to 100, then down to 50, then it flared and crashed itself. I'm not entirely sure what I did wrong. I had a successful ILS landing this morning, so yeah, I'm trying to revise my procedures to see what I did wrong.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to get us moving. We're on the runway. So we will get moving with FSX pilot.
FS panel row 1 call profile. Untitled type trademark. Microsoft autopilot main panel row 1 column 1. FS panel row profile. Type trademark to the Microsoft Flight
Right, am I
Simulator.
still? Yeah. Okay, we're going to start the engines with Control E. You'll love these sounds. There are some great engine start sounds. This is a 727, like I said, it's a trijet, which was made in around 1970s and is not really operated by airlines anymore. It's operated by a few but quite obscure airlines. It's not really operated by main popular airlines. Yeah, I know, Borak. I should take its battery out and let it just be on power, but it's almost at full anyway, and I can't bother to start picking it up now because it's all set up with wires and everything.
It's not very sturdy either. I tried mine and it fell over backwards.
Oh, okay.
The battery's normally, or it is on mine, located at the back, so it lost all its back support. And it was very fragile because the battery was like in between the main computer terminal where the keyboard is and the lid.
Okay, I think the engines are on.
Menu.
Oh, that's
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
sound just changed, so I'm not sure. No, I think they are.
Menu.
So we're going to take off. I have flown this aircraft before. It seems to work okay with FSX Pilot. It's not one of the default ones, it's one I downloaded, so you can never be sure whether, if they have too complicated interfaces, it can sometimes you know, just not like flying with it, but this seems alright, so we're going to try it.
Microsoft. Autopilot main tab. Edit. Blank. AP checkbox not checked. Space checked.
Autopilot on.
Edit.
Get that
Edit.
on.
Edit. Edit. Select. Edit multi-line. Greater.
And run the takeoff.
R-U-N. Runs. T-A-A-E-O-F. Greater.
Switching to
Microsoft
true
Flight
heading
Simulator. Microsoft.
display for departure, sir. Landing, strobe, and NAV lights on.
Here we go.
Climb rate set to 1,500 feet per minute. Altitude set to 4,000 feet. Speed set to 200 knots. NAV on.
Yeah, I'll send you that recording.
Well, there's just some nice roll sounds. You can hear us rolling down the runway there. It's fine, it's not like we're crashing, it's just that we're rolling. We're at, I should say actually, we're at Leeds Bradford Airport going to Munich.
V1.
Right, there's V1.
Rotate.
Rotating.
Starts to go wrong.
Takes a bit to get to V2, but it will do it. I think it's quite a big aircraft and we've got a lot of fuel.
NAV on.
There we go, we're airborne.
80 knots, rotate.
Yeah, it does that. It says 80 knots rotate when we're already in the air. I think it's
Heading
playing
set
catch
to a
up.
true heading of 138
There
degrees.
goes gear.
Gear up. Landing lights off. Please
you doing,
resume on
Marshall?
navigation, sir.
What is that, Marshall?
Yeah,
what
so
are you doing?
If you heard any of that basically summed up what happened.
Oh, are you playing your crash video? I don't know whether
Yeah.
they'll be able to hear it because the plane is flying. Yeah, it does that noise as well. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's some kind of altitude warning. But we're fine.
Autopilot main. Nav. Edit multi-line. Greater. S-A. Space. A-R-S-P-E-E.
Gonna
Greater.
check our airspeed.
Indicated airspeed is 196 knots, sir.
S-A-R-S-P-E-E. Greater.
Checking it's not
Indicated
dropping.
airspeed is 195 knots,
No, it is
sir.
going down a bit,
S-A-A-T-T-E. Greater.
but we should
Current
be alright.
altitude is 2,581 feet, sir.
Okay.
S-A-R-P-E. Greater.
Indicated
Wow.
airspeed is 202 knots,
I'll have to
sir.
get that from Riku.
What? Oh yeah, 727, yeah. Takes ages to download this pack because there's low deliveries. Okay, we're going to far select
T-T-T. Far select. Space.
EDDM.
Greater.
Distant target EDDM selected.
FS profile. Type Microsoft Autopilot. FS panel.
FS
Greater menu
panel,
button.
I'm just gonna
F
get
flight
it
speed
to-
off road. Cruise speed save 250.
Set it to
Speed
fly
set to
250 knots.
250
Microsoft Flight
knots.
Simulator. Autopilot. Nav checkbox not
And
checked.
nav on, which will mean it will
Space check.
fly us to
NAV
Munich.
on.
FS panel. Microsoft Flight Simulator. X01.
As you can hear, the engines are increasing power because it's taking us up to 250 knots. Which is fine, that's what I wanted to do. Now, sometimes banking in aircraft which aren't default can result in it banking a bit too much, but it seems with this aircraft that it banks okay, luckily. Because I've had planes where it's banked way too much and literally turned it over onto its side.
Yeah. What was it, 767 kept doing that before the record.
Yeah, I was testing the 767, I just got on it banked too much, so I had to get rid of it unfortunately. I might need to turn you up a bit more, Marshall, you're a bit quiet still.
Oh.
Autopilot main
Right,
SP, nav
autopilot, I'm
checkbox.
just
Edit
going
multi-line. Edit selected 4,000.
to...
Edit multi-line. Greater. Edit selected 4,000.
Oh, it's put 4,000 in there.
Land.
Yeah,
Zero. Selection.
right, anyway, we are going to go to
3,
340.
0, 0, 0.
Zero.
So,
So-
edit selected
I'm just
34,000.
gonna get changed and get some stuff sorted, and then I'll be back in a short while.
Okay,
Edit selected 131.
and climb rate, we
One,
will go
selection.
to about
2,
2,000 feet
0,
per
0,
minute there.
0. Edit selected 34,000.
34,000
Edit selected 2,000.
feet, 2,000. Yep, that's fine, Marshall, yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Right, powering up the engines again to keep our
And then I'll
climb.
set an FSX plane. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just do a route from East Midlands to Dublin with ATC.
Oh, okay.
Might do your Dublin route for you since you're doing it. Or
Yep, you can do it.
I don't know.
And this flight, yeah, In this flight we won't have ATC, but when we go from Munich to Madrid, we will have ATC because it's your plane.
Autopilot.
Yeah,
Autopilot main panel dialog BDDM 588 heading course 8.
Okay.
Anyone could help with that.
I don't think you can have passengers, Melshu. You can only add the weight of passengers. It doesn't actually give you any like passenger sounds unless you get an extra program for that. We are 588 miles
Edit selected
from
34,000. Edit multi-line. Greater.
Munich. 34,000 is probably a bit high actually. We probably
We're back in a bit.
okay. So you probably didn't need to go that high to be honest, but you know. We'll go that high and that will be fine.
S A what A A L T T greater.
Current altitude is 6,524 feet. Sir,
Edit selected 34,000.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to modify that to about
0
30,000
Edit
feet.
selected 30,000. Edit multi-line.
Because if we go to 34,000, it's just going to make it more difficult to get down.
Microsoft flight.
And I don't see that there's much point in making it even more difficult. See what it sounds like on outside. Oh, nice.
My legs
I can't hear you,
Menu.
Marshall. What did you say?
fell off the perch.
What?
Headphones.
Oh, did they fall off the thing you put them on? Right.
Microsoft flight.
Yeah, I got technical around my legs. That's why I was down in.
Oh.
It's on the on off. On the on off thing. Mike, look it up top. Not a good day. Oh, goody.
Turn you up a bit more
Menu.
actually, because
Folder
you're
mute. User action straight mute via Sophos home via
I'm
speakers.
struggling to
Context menu
hear you. I
button,
think
open
it's
button. Volume mute dialog auto mute dialog profile mute dialog Steam client mute dialog Microsoft mute dialog site trademark 34.
It's definitely not
35.
Wi-Fi because the stream's coming through clear.
that's better. No, it's not. It's
Menu.
just the volume I've got.
Autopilot
Yeah.
main panel row Microsoft flights Microsoft.
I think I turned you down a bit earlier,
Alright.
but I didn't have a plane on then.
Back in a bit.
3 people watching the stream. Thanks to all of them.
Back in a bit.
See you.
It's just because you didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's fine. Bye.
End it thinking I was gone for good. or
Okay,
it
yeah.
dropped.
That's fine.
It turned to what happened last time.
Never flown this plane this high. I pretty much got it the other day when I was going somewhere, so I just got time to take it up and go to about 4,000 feet, bring it back down, so it'll be interesting. And I got some new sounds for the 737-800 since I last flew it, so see how they work. Well, I've flown it with them before, but you probably haven't heard them on the stream. Right, it sounds like the engines are powering up. What's that?
indicated airspeed is 250 knots.
Yep.
Sir,
Greater.
climb rate is 2,012 feet per minute. Sir,
Edit selected 2,000. Edit
Yeah,
selected 30,000.
that
Edit
is
multi-line.
exactly
Greater.
what we
FS
want.
panel. FS comp menu button. Flight speed. Flight of group speed safe. 300 kNTS.
See, the speed safe has gone up to 300 knots because we're past 10,000 feet, which means you can go up
speed set to
past
300
250
knots.
knots. I always have trouble keeping to 250 knots when descending quite fast because when you're descending, obviously you're picking up a lot of speed. So even if it's set to 250, it keeps going past it all the time.
Autopilot.
So I'm not
Microsoft
very
flight.
good at
Microsoft
keeping
flight.
to that, especially when descending. But
FS panel. FS.
see how far
Autopilot
we
main.
are.
Autopilot main panel dialog. BDDM 569. Heading course 8.
569.
Nav checkbox checked.
Hmm.
Menu.
We are
Autopilot.
getting close to
Autopilot main
it. I
panel
can't
dialog.
remember
BDDM
what we were.
568. Heading course 8.
Yeah, we are.
FS panel. Microsoft flight. Mic.
apparently this was a very good plane back when it used to be a popular one. Like stable and, you know, a plane which would always just fly well. Obviously not as modern and automated as the ones we have today, but I remember seeing that NASA actually used this plane to do a test crash. They put human dummies in it, I think, and crashed it on purpose. Right, is it still increasing our airspeed?
Indicated airspeed is 299 knots.
No,
sir.
It's not.
Current altitude is 16,682 feet.
Okay.
Sir.
Microsoft Flight. Auto. FS panel. FS combo menu button. Flight takeoff. Cruise speed safe. 300 kNTS.
No, we're still at the same speed
Microsoft
safe.
Flight. Microsoft.
Oh, the Boeing 787 boy. It really depends what makes a passenger feel safe. Personally, I like to feel that there is a pilot in there who knows what they're doing and can take control. Unfortunately, as planes get more sophisticated, pilots kind of just get into a way where they trust the plane too much, and then when it starts doing something strange or there's an emergency, they don't necessarily know what it's doing. You know, some will, some just won't, and they think the automation can just fly the plane. Pilots will just take off and then within the first few seconds put the autopilot on and not hand fly the plane until you're landing, and especially with the 787. I don't think they're unsafe in terms of mechanically. I think they're pretty much fine, and the only thing I have heard is there's been problems with the plane's batteries overheating, and they've had a few fires breaking out on them, but I think that was when they first went into service and Boeing have fixed it. In terms of sales, I think they've been a bit disappointing. I don't think they've been quite as big a success as Boeing would have liked. But
I'm back.
okay, but yeah, I wouldn't say they're unsafe unless it's more automation. You know, it's the automation I'm sure is very sophisticated. It's just if that was to ever go wrong, or there's an emergency or mechanical failure, you sometimes question, well, are the pilots really aware of what's happening with the plane, or are they just saying, well, the automation will fly it, it'll sort it out. Yeah. Borat was asking about the safety of the 787. He heard it was unsafe.
No.
Autopilot main panel dialog.
It's alright, I came back halfway through the conversation.
Some people will say it's a lot safer than other planes in the way that if you look at the rate of aeroplane crashes now, they've decreased a lot, and people say that's down to automation and the fact that it is prevented a lot, and in a way it's true, automation has helped, but it could be a number of things. It could be automation, it could be that the planes are just becoming more and more reliable, and of course it could be that pilots are getting better, but I personally don't think that's the case.
Alright, I'll set up this flight, get it going.
Oh wow, the door's made of plywood. Really? I didn't know that.
On the 727?
No, the 787. Wow, I didn't know that.
Goodness.
That does not sound... I mean, yeah, Boeing probably are about money. They're probably... I guess they are, and I think a lot of their planes are kind of failing a bit, because I mean, if you look at it, The 777 is probably their biggest seller now. The 737 as well, but the 747 is slowly. Let me just check how we're doing, and then I'll carry on.
Indicated airspeed is 271 knots, sir.
We're losing a bit of airspead there.
Current altitude is 25,503 feet, sir.
Oh, it's just 'cause we're going higher. Right? Go to that one.
Speed set to Mach 0.72.
You could try what, Marshall?
Suppose I could try and create the flight plan to Sydney in an A380, seeing as I've got one. But the only problem with it is, if we wanted real world weather on it, I've found this out recently because I created a flight plan a few days ago, and the weather information was information golf, and I remembered what it was, and I flew that flight plan today. It was still information golf. And it was
Yeah,
still
when you
the
make
same.
it doesn't for some reason update it. The real world weather. So you can make the flight plan. If we do the A380 to Sydney, we'll need an airport to stop at. Yeah.
Need to get the ICAO code for Sydney first off.
Yeah. But yeah, Boeing, the 747 is struggling because the 400 is just becoming. It's very heavy on fuel, and prices and airlines just don't like planes that do that anymore. So Boeing brought out the 747-8, which was like an improved version. That didn't sell so well. If you look at planes like the 767, they're being retired. The 757 is still being used, but I don't know if airlines are still buying it, and the 787 didn't go so well. So yeah, they are pretty much about money making, and they don't seem to be doing so well on that front.
Google. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to set this up.
Yeah. I'm not.
Sydney Airport, Australia, Wikipedia.
I'm not necessarily sure the plane is. I don't know whether it's unsafe. Yeah, it might not be the best quality plane though. Maybe then. I'll have to watch that documentary. That sounds interesting. Plywood. That is surprising.
Okay. No, I don't want reviews.
I mean, talking about McDonnell Douglas, they had some pretty unreliable planes.
Yeah, they did.
There was a lot of crashes with McDonnell Douglas.
DC-10 that's
yeah, the
engine
DC-10
fell off at O'Hare.
Yeah, there was a DC-10 which engine fell off, but there was a fault with the cargo door, and there was about 3 crashes with that. There's a lot of DC-10 crashes and DC-9 as well. But then some planes were more reliable. I mean, you look at DC-3s. There's people still flying DC-3s, and when were they made? 1920s or something. So they're obviously reliable planes. I mean, most airlines and the whole business is all now about money making, really. They're not necessarily bothered about the plane as long as it flies and it's safe enough and it's certified. I don't care.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
See, this plane, the 727, it's a very reliable plane and a very good plane. And back then you actually had this plane is a trijet, and all the airlines kind of teamed up and said, well, this is what we want, and this is what we want, and this is what we would like in a plane. And then Boeing designed the plane with safety and what all the airlines wanted. You know, because I think one airline wanted a 2-engine, one wanted a more long range, so they kind of merged it all together into a plane which was a good all-round plane, and which was reliable and which flew for many years.
Microsoft. Edit panel autopilot. Edit multi-edit. Edit 25. Selection removed.
Okay.
Edit select
Oh,
30,000.
almost leveled
Edit
off.
multi-line. Greater. S Y Y A space Y Y A L T U. Greater.
Current altitude is 29,983 feet.
YSSY, that's the ICAO code for
Cruising
Sydney.
2 speed safe, Mach 0.72s.
Okay.
Flight F.
Now I think we can probably go a bit faster than Mach
Edit, selected
0.72.
138, edit, selected 15, edit, selected 0.72.
I don't know what the max speed for this plane is. It's probably around, yeah, okay, so now you actually, annoyingly, I don't think you can adjust the value in these boxes. I contacted the developer and it's a bug apparently, because guess what, it was all made for sighted people and they didn't bother testing whether you could actually type values into the fields. They used the mouse to do it with the scroll wheel to move them up and down, and released it, and it's now on version 2.4 and nobody had found the bug. And then I tried to type values into these fields and hang on, it didn't work. So that's very, you know, it's a good product, but that did surprise me that a product that's been out for that, you know, loads of years, probably about 5 years or something, is you can't actually type,
Edit, selected 0.72.
which is advertised. So you have to do NVDA Shift M
0.72. Enter speed near balloon.
to put the cursor there, and then I have to use this mouse and its scroll wheel
Selection removed.
to flick it up.
Edit, selected 0.77.
0.7, yeah, I'll do 0.77. I don't want to go too fast.
Context menu.
Oops, right click there.
Autopilot main panel dialog. EDDM 490 heading course 8.
490 miles.
Edit multi-line. Greater. Evans panel. Microsoft flight. Microsoft. Enter speed.
As you can see, it's increasing the speed.
No, I don't want to go in a Cessna C172.
God, no, not to Sydney. We don't. You can do it if you want, but I'm not coming along.
No, I'm not. No, thank you. I've not got unlimited fuel on. I've got full realism on, but the only problem with that, my Mooney Bravo can't get off the ground at Derby Airfield.
Oh, your local airfield? No, no. I think the runway you're trying to use the Mooney for, though, is too short, probably. That's probably why it can't lift off safely.
It hits a tree.
Hit a tree. It's probably not even a tree that's there in real life. It's probably FSX auto-generated scenery.
Right, Airbus A380-800.
Just hoping when we use
stop working and then we'll just try to sort something else out.
hopefully when we use it's your plane, it will work okay, because it likes to, like I said, it does like to crash, and the last time we used it was the 757 to Turkey, and we wasted about an hour on the ground because it stopped working nearly when we were about to take off, and of course you have to do all the checklists, so it took forever.
Yeah.
Right, what's the battery on this thing? Can I
86% AC power on.
oh, it's still charging. It's because we've got this on, it takes a lot out of it.
Yeah. I'm permanently attached to a plug now because I'm playing FSX so much.
You what, sorry?
So I'm permanently attached to a plug socket now because I'm playing FSX so much.
Oh yeah. It was a famous crash of this plane actually, though. It was a PSA 727 which collided with a Piper over, was that Los Angeles? Was it Los
might have
Angeles?
been.
I think it was. It was somewhere busy area. That was not nice.
What Piper was it?
I think it was a Piper. It might have been a Cessna or something. It was a small plane anyway. You know. Either a Piper or Cessna, probably.
I managed to get ATC in a Piper J3 Cub on FSX.
Did you?
Yeah, I doubt that thing would even have ATC because it's such an old plane.
Piper J3. I guess if you've got a radio in there, you've got ATC.
Yeah, I'm just going to untangle the cable, so I'm taking my headset out of standby.
I've been downloading a lot more planes on here. I'm trying to think what I've got. I've got a DC-9, DC-10, pretty much all the Airbuses, pretty much all the Boeings, and an MD-11. And yeah, a couple of others like regional airliners like a Saab, a Dash 8 and a Beechcraft 1900D. So we'll have a bit of fun flying them over the next few weeks.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We go from London Heathrow.
To Sydney, yeah, because we're going to have to go in an A380, so we need somewhere the long runway. I tried to depart from East Midlands Airport earlier in a 777, and I think we hit trees at the end of the runway because the takeoff roll was too long.
Autopilot main.
Sorry?
Enter speed 0
I said
balloon.
I'll put this thing at a gate. I don't want a general aviation gate. Thank you.
Yeah, see what
Map check
cruise it gives
Edit
you
multi-line. Greater.
for that flight if we ever do it.
S A C R P E E
Just going to see what our airspeed is in knots.
Indicated airspeed is 300 knots,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. That airspeed is actually quite low, but well, 300 knots, and it's you have a difference you see between indicated airspeed and true airspeed. As you go higher up, the air gets thinner. So
Right, I'll put us at the fuel box.
right, that's saying 300, whereas our actual airspeed or ground speed could be 350, you know, 400 or something. But because we're up here, the speed will change. Because I've seen that many people on forums saying, oh, my plane overspeeds at 350 knots and it's supposed to be able to do 500. Why is it overspeeding? They just don't know the difference between indicated and true.
Edit -0.
Yep, so in the climb rate field it's got
FSX has stopped responding.
-0, so clearly that means we are level, because it's not having to climb or descend to hold 30,000 feet.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter speed 0 balloon. Autopilot main panel dialog. EDDM 445 heading course
445 away. And another annoying thing is on here apparently there is actually an estimated time of arrival thing which will tell you when you're going to get there, and guess what, you can't read it with a screen reader. So yeah, that's annoying. I might suggest that to the developer. Developer's actually really good for this. He's very responsive, always responds to my emails.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter speed 0 balloon.
Right, select departure location.
Hello Alan. We're in a 727 flying to Munich, and then we're going to switch to a 737 with It's Your Plane to do all the checklists. We're using FSX Pilot at the minute, if you didn't already know.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you just started dropping. It sounded like you were coming out of a tin can.
Oh dear. Might be
Sky.
our Wi-Fi signal or something.
But the Wi-Fi was about to die.
Hopefully it won't. Better not.
If it does, I'll smash it.
Yeah, it's fine, I think.
Right, no, I don't want to go VFR.
VFR is not good. For us anyway.
What do you want, high altitude airways?
Yeah, we'll want high altitude airways. And we'll need to find an airport to stop at, because I've said if we do the Sydney flight we'll have to have a stop so we can sleep.
Yeah. Because otherwise we'll have 2 dead pilots. We don't want that.
Well,
Especially with me, because I might end up being on board on the
I
joystick.
think the Airbus A380 actually is supposed to have 3. Not pilots, but I think it does. It has to have a flight engineer, which is very uncommon. Pretty much no plane has a flight engineer anymore, but I think the Airbus A380 does.
33,000, is that alright?
That's alright. Probably will be. Yeah, that'll do. I have a Project Airbus A380 which I'll probably go in because it has custom sounds.
Oh. I've got a Qantas Airbus A380 with rubbish sounds.
I hate downloading a plane, then finding out it uses default sounds, like for the Boeing or something. It's such a cop out. It's like, that was a waste of time downloading it, you know. People just think, well, as long as the visuals look good, nobody's going to care about the sounds, which is annoying.
Edit multi-line. Greater. R F E E. Greater.
Indicated airspeed is 300 knots, sir.
Edit. Selected one. Selection removed.
Okay,
Edit.
we're
Edit multi-line. Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter speed 0.
I don't know what plane it is. No!
Yeah, I saw that, Alan, actually. I went onto the website. That was quite... I guess in a way it's good. At least they're continuing developing it. And the reason they're doing it, I think, is because they're trying to make one for X-Plane, which is a latest simulator. Unfortunately, X-Plane is not even accessible at all for screen readers. Even the installer doesn't work. So that's we can't go there. But at least they are keeping it under development. I'll probably just go and get the Pro version. I need to work out what you actually get for doing that, though.
Drop in again.
Okay. Well, I seem fine on the stream. Do you have the Pro version, Alan? If so, what advantages do you get over the free? If not, I'll look on the website.
Right, that's saved. I'm not going to be using that flight plan because it's just gone and failed engine number 4.
No, we don't want that. Anyway, I'm glad it's continuing with development. At least we've got something we can use that's developing, because It's Your Plane is no longer being developed. And the only other thing is multi-crew experience, which is a bit like It's Your Plane, but you can't really land with it yet. Well, you can, but it's a bit of a pain. And yeah, so at least we've got something still going.
Crash.
Yeah, it could do. Once we land at Munich, I'll have to go into the flight menu and load the other plane back up. And I've positioned that to the gate, so we'll do all the checklists and taxi across and do everything as you usually would. Obviously we'll have the usual problem with It's Your Plane being very slow because I'm streaming. But at least we'll have ATC. Sorry, you're dropping out a bit, Marshall. Are you saying something?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah, now. I've just gone out of the plane.
Need to delete some of these flights.
Oh, have you got loads of flight plans?
Microsoft Flight Enter speed 0 balloon.
Yeah. If I want to delete a flight from the load flight dialog box, do I just select it and then just click delete?
Might be able to. The way I do it is I go into Documents, then Flight Simulator X files, and there's all your flight plans in there. I just select all the files and get rid of it. That's a good point. You might just be able to delete it from the load flights list.
Oh, I think it's on the flights.
Sorry?
Oh no.
Alright. Yeah, Alan, it is a bit much, really. I don't know. I mean, if it was worth it, I haven't really seen what more you get from it, to be honest. It's Your Plane was pretty much that. I think it was more, but I just got it because that was the only way. But it is a pain that we have to get all this specialist software for it, and people can just download the simulator. But anyway, yeah, the free version is working fine for me. I've not had any point where I've had a feature not work or anything. It can land, it can take off, it can do touch and goes, it can do anything I want, so I don't see any advantage at the minute.
Do you think FSX FSX pilot could handle an engine out if I was to fail one of the two engines.
I don't know if it can handle failures actually. I don't think it can do that. I don't think. I've never really tried it. It's not something they ever advertised it can do. Right, let me just see how far we are, because we will have to make sure we... 376 there.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter speed near balloon.
Bit of a way to go yet. I'll hopefully be able to do quite a few more streams over the next few days. Oh, where do I download them, Alan? I basically just put them in. One good place I found is it's called Riku or something. It's R-I-K-U. Oh no, O. I don't know. Just put the plane. I tend to put just FSX 3 and then the plane, like 727, and it comes up with it on Riku, the website.
It's just like that one, Eugenia XCIDW.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can get a lot of good ones on there actually. That's where I've got most of my Airbuses and this one, and they come with multi-livery packs, so you get different liveries for airlines. This particular 727 pack came with 100 and something of them, so it takes ages to download, but unfortunately you can't just get it without them, so but yeah.
Riku seems to crash my laptop, so I'm not able to get one.
Oh, does it crash yours? Right. I'm just the only planes I wouldn't get from Riku, because for some reason they're not supported by FSX. Well, they are supported, but once I've added them to the directory and got into the air, it stalls them on takeoff. There's a 767 pack on there, don't get that, and there's a 737-800 pack on there, which is a bit better than default apparently, but don't get that because it also stalls. All the other ones you can get are pretty nice. There's a 727, a 777 and 87 pack on there, plus a load of Airbuses. I've got DC-10 off there, DC-9, MD-11. Yeah. If you want the link to a specific aircraft, I can put it in the chat now because I can get it. Or I'll see if I can get a link to their website. But anyway, I mean, there are other places you can get them. You can get them from Flyaway Simulation. You can get them from AvSim, fsfreeware.net. If you want freeware, which most of mine are. There's only one which is a payware, I think.
Oh, which one's that one?
I think it's a payware. I think it was a 757 I got. I think it was just you could get it for free, and you could get it with some sounds or something which cost an extra, and I got a few extra sound packs. Right, let me see if I can find this website. And then I'll put a link to their home page in there.
Please don't crash.
Oh, I found it. That's helpful.
Anything stupid like that.
I'll put a link to it in the chat.
Don't think I'll be doing this Dublin route.
Yeah.
Don't think I'll be doing this Dublin route.
Oh, why not?
No, because I feel like I'm just going to fall asleep at the controls.
There you go, it's in the live chat, Alan, the link to the website where I get most of my planes from. Oh, and I got a nice A318, 19, 20 and 21 pack from there as well, which works with FSX Pilot. You obviously have to add them to the directory, and it does take a while for them to download. Some of them will download in 5 minutes, some might take 20-30 minutes because but the good thing is as well, they have auto installs, so you just auto install them into FSX. Simple. You don't have to mess about adding folders everywhere.
Yeah, that's good. Still got a United. Still got a 767.
Autopilot main panel dialog DDM 334 heading towards HDD.
You what? Sorry, Marshall.
At the minute because so I think I've still got a 767 that I want to get installed, but can't be bothered at the minute because it wants me to add folders all over everywhere.
Oh, what type is it?
I think it's just 767. I just downloaded it in a hurry because I had to get somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I had someone come to help me with something, and before they came to take me out for just over an hour, I just set a load of jet planes downloaded.
Yeah, like I said, there are a few planes from that Riku website. There's a 737, a 767, which will not work with FSX pilot. I mean, you could try them, Alan. It'd be helpful if you could get them to work, but I think what's happening is the interface is too complicated. There's like an autopilot system which is trying to control the plane as well as FSX pilot, and it fights for airspeed, and then it tries to bank it, and then the flaps sometimes don't work on those particular ones, and it's a pain. So yeah, I actually had that happen on this 727. I was coming into landing, went too low flaps, so I don't know whether the flaps weren't fully out, so hopefully that won't happen again. But we landed safely anyway, so that's fine. If it does, you don't necessarily have to have full flaps, I suppose.
Oh.
So here's a view of the cockpit anyway, Alan, if you can actually see it. I don't know what this plane cockpit looks like, but anyway, there's an outside view. That's what it sounds like on outside view. Yeah, it's not a bad plane, this.
Alright, let's see what the ATUS information is.
Autopilot main panel dialog DDM 319 heading towards HDD.
Right, almost 300 miles away.
Microsoft Flight Sim. Microsoft.
Slowly getting there. This plane does seem a bit slow. I don't know if it's just me. No, maybe it's not me. I think it's alright actually.
But no, I do like to listen to some of the big jet planes that I fly. I do like to listen to them from tower view as they jet off from East Midlands Airport.
Yeah, if you press S on the keyboard, you can actually listen to it from. I'll show you now actually. I think, Alan, you might be able to tell me. S once. That's outside view. Then again, I think that's from the ground. I think. Like a ground view or something.
Yeah.
If you press S and it goes to that, because it sounds really quiet. So I'm guessing it's like a ground view. It's quite nice to listen to them coming in on approach like that.
Autopilot nav checkbox checked. Edit multi-line greater SA R P D S R R S P E E D greater.
Indicated airspeed is 300 knots.
300 knots.
Edit selected -1. Selection removed.
Yeah, it's just descending a tiny bit there.
Microsoft Flight Sim.
Anyway.
I like listening to them start up from those sorts of views as well.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's a tower view or like a ground view. It's some kind of view away from the plane.
ATC isn't working. This is a very old flight plan. I think I created this the night I got FSX. Updates the settings.
Oh yeah, Alan says the view with the silence or the very faint engine sound is the nearest tower view.
Oh.
That's what it must be. Oh, okay, that's quite nice. Yeah, I like to listen.
Just say that right.
What?
You just said 2716 Zulu, I think. Let me just listen to it again.
Yeah, I like listening to them coming in on that or starting up. It's quite nice. That's alright, Alan. There's probably a few planes on there I haven't discovered yet. Yeah.
Oh, it said 20170. I thought it said 2710 Zulu or something. I don't want to do a touch and go. Anyway, this will be an interesting experience. Can you still hear me? Oh, good, because I F12'd it by accident. F12 by accident to kill me in a second.
Alright.
Come on. I should have known this code.
What's the matter with it?
It's just slow.
Yeah, if you haven't got a powerful laptop, FSX is difficult to run.
Mine's got no choice now, because I've got it.
Yeah, exactly. It's usable, but it is annoying when it stops working. We're just about to land in Sydney, come all the way from London in FSX, and FSX has stopped working. Can't imagine how annoyed I'd be if that happened.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 279 heading course H.
279 miles. We will start descending at about 150 miles away, just nice and slowly. We won't have to go down too much, because the faster you descend, more airspeed will pick up, and we're already at 300 knots here.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
It seems to die if you don't. Yeah, if you're running a flight plan.
Yeah, I found that when I've done flight plans in FSX Pilot. I like using flight plans because it does all the waypoints, but if you're at a high altitude and you don't, I don't know if you're supposed to control the altitude and start to slowly bring it down, but I thought mine would just do it, but it dives the plane to get down to the right altitude to land if I do a flight plan. So I guess I have to control the altitude and slowly bring it down before the landing. Because it selects the last waypoint, and then it'll say runway blah, 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 selected, and then it will just try and get it down to the right altitude and just dive. And obviously overspeed the plane if you're because I think there was one time, must have been about 34,000 feet up, doing a flight plan, selects the runway and then dived at about minus 12,000 feet per minute just to get down to land. It's like, well, why didn't you just start the descent a bit earlier?
Running Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
I've heard a video from another channel as well. This wasn't FSX Pilot, this was It's Your Plane. But a plane kept stalling itself. It was going down from 26,000 feet at minus 26,000 feet a minute. And crashed, obviously. If that would have been real life, everyone would have died in the attempt. I'm surprised it stayed in a sort of flyable fashion and not just inverted itself.
There is actually an inverted button on the FSX Pilot thing, which apparently flies the plane upside down.
Which one is it?
I'm not sure what it's labelled with a screen reader. There's one that says V, could be it.
I had a helicopter that caught fire this morning. They weren't using helipads, so around the takeoff, unknown to me, there was a pipe coming in. So they basically told me to taxi to and hold short of runway 27.
Taxi to and hold short in a helicopter.
Yeah.
That makes a load of sense, doesn't it? Well done, ATC. Although I suppose, to be fair to them, if you were you East Midlands?
No, I was at Norwich. They've
Oh.
got a helipad.
Well, I suppose you can't really taxi to a helipad. You probably have to put it on the helipad first.
I put it on the helipad.
Oh, taxi to. Unless ATC doesn't work with helicopters, it maybe it doesn't actually.
Yeah, basically, trying to taxi to it, it required, besides the person's assistance, I hit land at current position, my assistants left the room, and unknown to me there was a piper on the runway that I actually landed on.
You landed on top of another plane.
Yeah. Oh, my fuel caught fire, because I've got crash settings on.
Okay, my phone has just crashed itself. It's just gonna come back on, so if anyone's posting in the live chat, I will look in a minute.
Smash the phone up.
I know. It's crashing sometimes. I should probably just set it up as a new phone again or something, but I'm getting a new one soon anyway, so.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 238 heading course HTTP.
238 miles
Microsoft.
away. And we have the flight to Madrid, which I'm not sure, might even be longer than this one, I don't know.
But no, that Boeing, that default 737, it is a good sound. We've got it on Eurofly, haven't we? When it's at full power.
What, you mean we have the 737 FSX sound on Eurofly?
I think so. Well, they're similar anyway.
I think it's similar. I think actually when we first got Eurofly and I was modding it, I think I got it off YouTube. I don't think it's actually that FSX one. I think it's just.
I suppose you could replace it now with, I know they're paid, but you could copy one of the, whatever best sound file that you've got.
Yeah, over to
try
Eurofly. I could do. Eurofly's a pain though. It always messes up with the sound anyway. Which is.
Oh, that's a bit loud.
Have you got the thing up on your iPad? Has anyone put anything in the chat? Ooh,
Not sure, I'm just trying to get
got the wire caught there.
Just trying to get my 737 to fly. It's got its brakes on, that's why. Or at least the minute couldn't to lose. Send it on its way. Alan, do you have any information on when our IP will come free?
Oh, not really. Other than all I know is it's what it says on the website, which is it's being worked on, and someone from the mailing list tried to get in contact with the developer to ask if it was going to be made free, because he's left the mailing list, and
That didn't work.
and he didn't respond. He didn't reply. So. Yeah, not really. I'm getting more and more doubtful that it is going to be made open source. Because, I mean, I don't know, the developer's just not responding to anyone. Maybe it will be. But I'm not really confident.
We got an iFlip back on.
No. He's doing that thing where the screen doesn't work properly. It's been really slow. And just keep on the live chat for now and then. When it comes back on, I'll go on there.
Whoa, 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 we're gonna crash!
Why?
Why? Because we're stalling.
Oh. You shouldn't stall it.
No, I'm being silly with it.
Oh.
I'm not actually flying seriously, I'm messing about.
Oh. Pulling back on the throttle or something.
I've just killed its engines. Right, we're respawned. Back at the airport. Although you wouldn't get up from that crash that I've just had.
Yeah. Oh, this phone is such a pain. Work. God.
If someone else is having it after you, it can smash up. Shut up, ATIS. Shut up.
Right, I'm going to get my iPod Touch and use that to look at the video. Because right now this phone is just getting on my nerves. As usual.
Right, we're ready to take off now.
Oh, good.
No, it's not often I mess about. I'm always doing serious stuff on my FSX. When I get to mess about, it's a privilege. Right, release the brakes.
Okay, I don't know where my iPod is. It's over the other side of the room. So we will use...
Let's cut this puppy loose.
We will use my iPad. The iPhone's not working. The iPod's not here. We'll use the iPad, which is over on my desk, but it's... I just don't use that because it's quite loud and it would probably go over the stream, but we're going to have to use it now.
Well, we're basically dying. No, 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 no. Oh.
What's it doing?
Crashing.
No. Oh dear.
Fly! There we go, she is flying. Crashed at over 400 knots.
Ooh.
To do that to us as a citation yesterday.
Oh.
We're not even in a suitable position to do a touch and go tower. But anyway, I'll acknowledge it, get them to shut up.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 181 heading course. Microsoft
Okay.
Flight Simulator X.
We're 118 miles away. Is there anything new in the live chat at the minute? 'Cause I'm just trying to get it up on this iPad.
Just try.
Or are you still messing about with the 737?
Ouch.
Wow, what's going on over there?
We crashed. I've lost both my engines, I've lost my sound. This plane is going to die. found a video on YouTube once. Apparently they called it "Where Planes Go to Die."
Oh yeah, is it that like place in a desert or somewhere? It's like a place where they take old airliners and planes and just smash them up basically because they're no longer needed. Or
How much does
store
one thing
them.
cost, Leo?
Sorry?
Oh, live chat seems I've lost both my engines.
Oh, what did it say?
How
How-
much does this thing cost?
Oh, well, my setup I'm using at the minute, Microsoft Flight Simulator Steam Edition off Steam, costs about £20 British, and FSX Pilot, which is the thing I use to fly it, is free. There is a Pro Edition, but I'm not quite sure what the advantages of going to the Pro Edition are yet, and the free edition is working fine for me, so I'm on the free edition. And then there's, you know, you can keep going with it. You can buy other applications for the simulator, so you can get a weather application which will add like weather effects and sounds. You can buy sound packs. You can buy
injection terminate, waiting for local threads to die, already dead or not responding.
what's that?
NVDA remote loader injection terminate, waiting for local threads to die, already dead or not responding. Okay.
What?
No clue. Just gonna hit OK. Can't kill it.
I don't know what that was. That was like that sounded like a load of rubbish.
It can't do much harm because it's not connected to your computer. If it was connected, then I would be getting worried. Try and shut this stupid light.
Autopilot
Yeah,
main panel
we
dialog
definitely
DDM
just
150 setting course HDD.
150 miles. Let's start descending.
Combo menu but fly speed submit takeoff. One fly direction submit fly altitude 5,000 15,000 20,000
Go to
25,000
just 25,000 first.
Altitude set to 25,000 feet.
Whether FSX pilot can handle failures.
Climb rate set to minus 1,500
Sorry.
feet per minute.
I was saying if anyone knows whether what FSX pilot would do if I failed one of my engines, because I would like to test it where I'm in, you know, like a 747 and I fail an engine.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if it can handle like failures and, you know, carry on flying the plane. I don't know.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Okay, we're definitely descending because it's yeah.
I forced it to fly a Piper J3 come without an engine the other day.
Oh yeah.
We crashed, of course. Oh, now this guy keeps telling me don't sink from TCAS when shut the heck up. It's just like, don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Yeah, it does that. It's annoying. Right, I'm just gonna go and put this phone on charge and see if I can get it to come back on.
Go anyway. I'm gonna go anyway now, so.
Alright then, I'll see you.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Put this on charge.
It should end itself when I shut this laptop down. No, I do not close all the applications when I am shutting down my laptop, especially if it's being slow. I just hit shut down and it does whatever. Alright, here we go. See ya. Why isn't it shutting down? Oh, now it is. Alright, bye.
Right, I've put that back on charge. Oh, you're there again. Okay, I see you.
See you.
Ever
want
channel
to
rope
say
autopilot.
bye before it
Nav check
turns
box check.
off
Edit
outgoing
multi-line.
audio?
Yeah.
Greater.
Indicated airspeed is 326 knots.
Microsoft
Okay.
Ever channel
Sir.
com menu
As you can see, it's increasing speed because we are descending, so I'm going to just
Speed
try
set to
and
Mach 0.71.
Come on, you stupid laptop, shut
pull
down.
our engines back a bit by setting the speed back, and it should hopefully
Come on.
is it not shutting down?
No.
Okay, I think it's applying power again, so I'm guessing it's levelling us off. Right, nothing's really working with regards to this live chat. My iPad isn't coming on. Nothing's working. Right.
Ever channel dialog range. Autopilot. Nav check. Edit minus 182.
Yeah, we're just
Menu.
levelling off.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 115 heading coordinate.
115, so we
Microsoft
will...
flight autopilot main Ever channel. Ever menu. Fly speeds up. Fly altitudes up. Fly at 10,000, 15,000, 10,000.
set it to go straight
10,001.
down to 10,000 feet
Altitude
now.
set to 10,000 feet.
Microsoft flight auto profile and pro.
Climb rate set to minus 1,500 feet per minute.
Menu fly speed take up approved speed safe Mach 0.7 OS.
Set that to the speed
Speed set
safe,
to Mach 0.70.
which will hopefully get our engines just coming back so we don't gain too much speed as we descend. Right, we just need to hurry up with descending a bit. Yeah, I'm just going to use this mouse and increase our
Descent autopilot made.
descent rate just a bit.
Edit multi-line. Edit selected 1. Edit selected 0.70. Edit selected 0. Edit selected minus 1500.
There it is.
Minus 1500. Enter climb rate to your old balloon.
Okay, and then use the mouse scroll wheel just to...
Selection removed. Edit selected minus 1000. Selection removed.
That's going the wrong way.
Edit selected minus 1700. Selection removed. Edit selected minus 2100.
That will do. Should get us down a bit quicker. Obviously, the annoying part is...
Context menu.
Oops. We're going to get...
Microsoft flight profile on top F panel menu fly speed take up approved speed safe Mach 0.68s.
an annoying
Speed set to Mach 0.67.
increase in speed, but we'll try and keep it back. I'll do my best. Okay, how are we doing on speed? I'm still trying to get the technology to work with the
autopilot. Edit multi-line greater space. Greater.
Indicated airspeed is 322 knots. Sir.
Yep, it's still
Speed set to Mach 0.63.
loving the speed here, increasing it a lot. So I'm trying to keep it back, but it's not always working. once we're at about 10,000 I'll set it to do the auto land. That's pretty much the altitude that's recommended to do auto lands. 10,000 feet above ground to set it to do an auto land.
FS panel row 1 column. FS menu. Flight speed save. Group speed save. Mach 0.61s.
I keep going into there and
Speed set
setting
to
it
300 knots.
because we're going down quite fast. It will constantly want to increase speed, so I have to keep it under control so we don't overspeed. Okay, how far are we?
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 84 heading course
84, that's fine.
Microsoft Flight Sim. Microsoft enter limb rate.
No, that's not bad at all actually. Oh god, this phone is really annoying me now. Why can't it just work? I would just get the chat up on my laptop, but it's it would play a double sound then, so that wouldn't work so well. Hopefully it won't be too long till we get down or level off. Adding more power there.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 69 edit nav edit selected -2100 edit multi-line greater SAL greater.
Current altitude is 11,867 feet. Sir.
Yeah, we're doing absolutely fine on altitude actually. We're doing a bit better. We need to, well, you know, we're lower than we absolutely had to be.
Greater.
Indicated airspeed is 301 knots. Sir.
Okay, we'll set that to 300
Speed set to
knots
300 knots.
because we've gone below where we would use Mach speed. Ugh, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to view this live chat because this phone's messed up and the iPad's not coming on. God's sake. Really? Is there? Does it have to all fail? I'm doing a reset on the phone, but it's just the screen is just not working, and I don't know what is wrong with this. It's useless. And this happens every time.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter limb rate.
I am on Twitter at B_flightsim, so any questions you can send me something on there and I'll pick it up probably at the end of the video. I'm guessing we're almost at
Nav check, edit, selected -255, -255.
we're leveling off.
Edit multi-line, grid SA, watts AL, TE, greater.
Current altitude is 10,195 feet, sir.
Definitely leveling off to just stabilise at 10,000 feet. Just went to a quick outside view. Sometimes resets the sound a bit.
Autopilot main panel dialog EDDM 51 point.
Right, I'm set it to do the auto land now.
Fly GPS auto land EDDM submenu.
Fly GPS auto land, and we'll go for normal.
Panel dialog.
Runway.
You can see it selects the runway.
EDDM 08L selected,
Go for 8 left.
sir.
And what that does is
Switching
it will
to true heading display for the approach,
create
sir.
a series of waypoints to land, and at the different waypoints to make sure the flaps and speeds are correct.
Menu. FS panel autopilot main. Autopilot
See
main
there,
panel
the
dialog.
first one is
38.2.
called TR1. I don't know why it's called TR1, but anyway, it's waypoint to 1, which is 38 miles away.
Edit multi-line, greater.
You can see in here it's set the altitude to what it should be, you know, for ground and everything.
Edit selected 4768.
Which is exactly 4,768 feet, and we're going to -755 feet per minute, which is the descent rate that is calculated to get us down there. That's kind of the altitude it will then descend right down to the runway from.
And
we're below 10,000 feet, so we'll set
Speed set to 250 knots.
And I'll get down and reload our other flight plan in a 737 across to Madrid, which hopefully I'll be able to get done tonight. Yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't. But I still can't view the damn live chat. This has GPWS call-outs, this aircraft, so it's your plane, not it's your plane, FSX pilot will actually announce the altitude as we go down, so you know, 1,000 feet, 500 feet, 100 feet above the runway. But this aircraft has that built in as well, so it will also do that at the same time. Adding a bit of power there. see.
FS panel dialog range mode menu. Autopilot main panel dialog TR 115.8 heading
15.8 miles to the first waypoint.
Checked. Edit multi-line. Greater.
And we're probably just descending slowly. Check our airspeed.
Indicated airspeed is 248 knots. Sir.
Yeah, about right. It should be 250, but it's
Current
just...
altitude is 6,700 feet.
Okay,
Sir.
so we're just descending slowly, which is fine. And obviously it'll get us to about 3,500 feet, which is what it's put in, and then slowly descend down to the runway, putting flaps and things down.
FS panel dialog range mode menu. Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter flip radio balloon.
Quite a nice way we're doing it actually, because this way people who haven't used them before will be able to see the difference between FSX pilot flights and it's your plane flights.
Autopilot main panel dialog TR 14.2 heading course HDD.
Okay, we're almost at the first waypoint.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter
And we're
flip
probably
radio.
almost at the altitude it set for itself, which was about... Actually, I said 3,500 before, it's 4,500, pretty much. Not quite, but almost. And then it will... not sure if this is where it does flaps 2 actually. It will probably put the flaps, or maybe flaps 1. And get them going out.
Flaps 2.
Wow, what is that noise? Huh, is that supposed to happen?
Menu.
God.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Enter flip radio balloon.
Is that like a store or something, or is that just to tell us the flaps are going out?
Menu.
Oh no, it might be a gear warning or something.
Microsoft Enter flip radio balloon.
God, that's loud.
Autopilot main panel. Edit multi-line. Greater. Enter flip radio S-A-R-T-E-E. Greater.
Indicated airspeed is 213 knots.
No,
Sir.
we're okay for
Edit selected
airspeed.
138. Edit selected 200. Edit multi-line. Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
There we go. It's gone. What the hell was that? I didn't even know that that would happen on this plane. That must be some kind of warning. I think it must be the gear warning or some kind of, I don't know. I'll check our altitude and things.
Edit multi-line. Greater. Edit selected 4768. Edit multi-line. S-A-T-T-T. Greater.
Current altitude is 4,785 feet.
Autopilot main panel dialog TR 21.9 heading course
Yeah, we
HDD
seem
100.
fine.
Nav edit selected -53. Selection room edit.
Yeah, we're just descending down a
Microsoft
bit more.
Flight Simulator X. Enter
Okay.
flip radio balloon.
Yeah, we seem fine actually. I don't know what that warning was. I was like,
Gear down.
there's the gear. You can hear it's a very
Flaps
loud now noise.
Landing lights on.
And once we're down, I'll see if I can get any of these things working so I can look at the live chat. Right, so there's the gear down and everything. So he's put the speed to 180, which is our final approach.
2,500.
You can see that's 2,500 feet, as usual, and that noise. And we are coming in for a landing.
Autopilot enter, edit multi-line, edit 1487, edit selected -1243, selection room.
Oh, I hope we are. Don't think we should be at 2,500.
Edit multi-line, edit selected -1283, selection removed. Edit selected -1285,
What's going on?
Greater. S-A-C-A-L-T-I-U-D-E, greater.
Current altitude is 3,558 feet, sir.
Edit selected 1487, selection removed.
Oh, I see, I see. No, that's right, we are okay.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
I just thought we'd crashed or something then. But we're fine. I'm just going to check our flaps fully out by doing F8. Yeah, it looks like they are. Oh no, they weren't actually. Sometimes I get a too low flaps thing, so I'm going to just make sure they are fully out.
Autopilot. Enter limb rate your balloon.
And yeah, that noise, that beeping, I think must have been because we were at...
Edit selected -1330. Edit 1487.
Okay, yeah, we've got to get down to the runway, I think.
S-A-L-T-E-D-E, greater.
It's quite a
Current
high airport
altitude is
above
2,903
the
feet,
runway.
sir.
Edit 1480, edit -1325. Edit multi-line, greater. S-A-L-T-U-D, greater.
Current altitude is 2,500 feet, sir.
And then
1,000 feet, sir.
1,000 feet above ground.
Microsoft.
This
Don't
probably
sink.
is telling us not to
Don't
sink.
sink.
It needs to pull back on the
Don't sink.
climb rate. I don't quite know what's happening
Don't
with it,
sink.
to be honest.
Don't sink.
Okay, I think we're
Don't
good.
sink. 500.
500.
Don't sink.
Stop telling me not
500.
to sink.
Don't sink.
It's definitely coming
Don't
in
sink.
too fast. I'm sure it is.
Don't sink. 400.
What's going on?
Don't sink.
Are we alright or not?
Don't sink. Don't sink. 300.
Autopilot. Nav. Edit -1197.
We're coming in
Microsoft
way
limb
too
rate your
fast. We're going to hit the
Don't
ground.
sink.
Why is it coming in this fast?
rate. Don't sink.
100.
Here we go.
100.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
40,
whoa.
20,
50.
10.
Brakes
Down.
and reverse thrust, sir.
Pretty fast, I think. I reckon that was too fast. But we'll see. Well, we're stopped. And we look alright.
Heading set to
Yeah.
a true heading of
I think
83
we're down,
degrees.
so well, that was certainly it looked to me like we were descending too fast for some weird reason. Don't know if the autopilot messed it up.
Autopilot. Edit multi-line. Edit selected
The
1487.
actual autopilot of the
Edit
plane.
Edit selected -9. Selection removed. Edit selected 83. Edit selected -9. Edit multi-line. Greater. Greater heading set to a group. Greater brakes and reverse thrust, sir. Greater.
Well,
Greater.
okay.
Mic. FS panel. FS menu. But context says up. View range. Add view save. EDDM 0
Yeah,
Taxi.
we're definitely
FS panel
at the airport.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
I've just got a feeling we
Menu.
landed a bit too heavily.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Row 1, column 1.
I mean, we did seem to be coming in quite fast. Not unnecessarily fast, though. Anyway, it was telling us not to sink. So, I'm going to see if I can just load...
FS panel. Autopilot.
Well, for a start, I'm going to get rid of...
Microsoft Flight
that.
Simulator X. No next. Close button. Maximum. Minimize. System. No previous. Minimize button. Maximum. Close button.
See if I can use this
Main
to get
panel.
to the menu.
Line screen wiper. Cockpit view 00. No next. No. Main. Unknown. Close maximize button.
It sometimes doesn't
Minimize button.
work.
Maximum. Close button. Unknown. Main panel.
No,
Line screen wiper.
it's not
Cockpit
having it,
view.
I
No
don't
next.
think.
Line. Main. Unknown. Close button. Closes the window.
Okay, we're
End flight
just
dialog.
going
End flight button space press.
to end that flight and load another one in the 737. Go
Microsoft
through the
flight change.
checklist
Load space press.
and take this across to
Load flight dialog. Tab control. Mission list dialog. List 737 Munich to Madrid not selected 1 of 49.
this one we want.
Dialog loading scenery objects. Loading scenery objects. Graphic.
And we'll use IYP. I have to do some research into that plane. I have landed it before and it's landed fine. So why we? I mean, it gave us don't sink. So well, maybe someone put something in the live chat about it. I don't know. I think we probably were descending a bit too fast, really, for that landing. Why? I don't know. I'm just going to wait for this to load.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
There it is, our plane. And we're positioned at a gate.
Folder view list. Still shortcut 20i. iTunes 7 of 25. It's your plane version.
Right, it's your plane's going to load. We will do the checklist. And whilst it's your plane's loading, I'm just going to go and see how the if I can get my iPhone or something to work.
Skype trademark. Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Right, it's your plane should start speaking, and we will do the checklist in a moment.
You are in the offline mode.
Yeah, there we go.
All server functions have been disabled. Hi, my name is Mike. I will be working alongside you today. You are in the offline mode. All server functions have been disabled. The system has been initialized for a Boeing 737-800. Simple ATC Plus is active. I am ensuring that the aircraft is fully loaded in the simulator. Please wait. Captain, it's your plane.
ATC menu.
We're ready to go.
Okay, I think my iPad is coming on, but I'm just going to leave it and start the checklist at least. Oh, wonderful, we don't need it, my phone's working. Finally! Can you believe it? Right, I'll get on the live chat first and do that. That was a pretty rough landing, I think, though, in the 727. I'm not too sure about that. Do all checklists.
Please wait.
Scroll log off. ATC menu. Speech mode off.
Captain,
Speech mode
do you
off.
want me to run through all of the
Starting from
checklists as
scratch.
required?
Yes, please.
I will call out all of the checklists. Are we ready for the pre-flight checklist?
Yes, we are.
We have an excessive amount of fuel for this flight. I strongly suggest that we perform fuel loading
Perform
operations
fuel
before
loading
engine startup.
operations.
I will run down the pre-flight checklist. Parking brakes set. Fuel loading operations completed.
Okay, I'll just look at the live checks. I've got a few things here.
Our total fuel weight is 15,388 pounds, 6,995 kilos.
Yeah, we've done that. You can get it off Steam, like I said to Leo earlier. Oh, I think okay, Alan, yeah, oh, this might be night as well. Anyway, yeah. I was trying to get it to simulate what it's like now, and I think I set it to about 9 PM at night, which is probably... Okay, maybe you can't see it.
Parking brakes set.
Blind Cat Blues. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Before I was using FSX Pilot to land and do the flight. Now we are using It's Your Plane. It's Your Plane does all the checklists, but it's no longer available, unfortunately. I just got it when it was. FSX Pilot it's free, and yeah. Thanks for tweeting it out. Yeah, I'm on Twitter at B_flight Blind Cat Blues. So yeah, if you would have to get it off Steam and then FSX Pilot as well. But if you have any questions, you can tweet me there. Freeware planes with a fully interactive cockpit. I know ones with virtual cockpits. Yeah, I don't know whether they're fully interactive though. You're not going to get a fully good quality aircraft that's unless it's like a payware, but there are some good
Parking
ones.
brakes set.
There's
Captain, can you not hear me?
yeah, shut up.
If you need help, just say, please help me.
There's the Just Flight 757, which they made free. You have to make an account with them, and then you can get that. That's very good quality. Don't know what else you could get. There's the iFly 747-400. That's an improved version of the default. That's meant to be quite good. Anyway. Yeah, probably be alright. It says there was 2 earlier, but I don't know. Yeah, It's Your Plane is the one where you speak voice commands, which I'm about to use, and FSX Pilot's the console ones. It's Your Plane you can't get, but FSX Pilot you can get on the internet, the free version. Right, let's get moving. Parking brakes on.
Parking brakes on.
Confirmed.
Battery master switch on. The battery master switch is on. Are the panel lights set as required? The panel lights are set as required. No smoking signs should be on.
No smoking on.
No smoking signs are on. Fire up the APU.
Fire up the APU.
The APU has been started. Captain, I am waiting for the exhaust gas temperature to rise. I'll continue with the checklist shortly. Finally,
I can look at the live chat again. If anyone could actually see the landing, I don't think there was anyone who has sight in the chat at the time from looking at it, but if anyone could see the 727 landing, I think I only put it on full screen at the last minute. Did you see if we were coming in too fast? I mean we were descending with a rate of minus 1,000 feet per minute or more, and it was saying
avionics on.
Don't sink. So.
The gear lever is correctly set. Transponder on standby.
Yes, it is.
The transponder is set on standby. COM2 set to the emergency frequency of 121.5.
Set COM2 121.5.
COM2 set to 121.5.
See, there's a lot more to do with this. It's all checklists, it's real procedures.
Spoilers fully retracted. The spoilers are fully retracted. Cut fuel flow. Check engine instruments.
Confirmed.
The engine instruments are functioning properly. Anti-ice as required.
Confirmed.
The anti-ice settings are set as required. Aircraft lighting.
Confirmed.
All of the aircraft lighting is functioning properly. Check weather.
Get ATIS.
Please wait.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you really want to be real and go through all the checklists, you can't do it with this, unfortunately. Okay, we have the weather. We have the weather.
The weather information has been obtained. Altimeter setting.
Auto altimeter on.
Auto altimeter is now on. Request IFR clearance.
Oh, thanks, Miguel. Request IFR clearance.
Please wait.
That's our call sign 234 for some reason. Squawk 0605.
Squawk 0605.
There's another plane on the frequency now, so we can't acknowledge our clearance, stupid thing. But we got told to climb to 14,000 on initial climb out. See if we can beat them to it. Acknowledge. Oh, Pacifica's got in there, so it's reading back its damn clearance. Acknowledge. 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 There we go. We have clearance.
We have received the clearance. Transponder set.
Confirmed. Confirmed.
The transponder has been properly set. Set altitude.
Climb maintain 14,000.
Altitude set to 14,000. Navigation lights on.
Navigation lights on.
The navigation lights are on. Attention cabin crew. You can begin passenger boarding at this time.
Okay,
Captain,
they're getting on.
do we need to conduct fuel loading operations?
Right, no, we did that earlier. Negative.
Aye, Captain. The fuel is okay. Captain, when you are ready for the before startup checklist, say resume checklists. The pre-flight checklist has been completed.
Okay. Right, we're going to just hurry up because I need to get in the air. Before startup checklist.
I will run down the before startup checklist. Confirm that all entry and cargo doors are secure.
Close doors. Not giving the passengers much time to
Closing
get
doors.
on. But that's only because it's getting late here in the UK. Or not too late, but I just want to get moving.
All of the entry and cargo doors have been secured. Flight attendants, prepare for cross-check and all call. Captain, I will now welcome the passengers on board. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first officer speaking. From the flight deck, we welcome you aboard Boeing, flight number 234, to Madrid.
Boeing.
If you tune to channel 7 on
Boeing
your headset,
livery
I will
one,
be
isn't
pointing
it?
out
The
places of
Boeing
interest
default
throughout our flight.
one.
We will be getting underway very shortly. Thank you.
We are Boeing Airlines.
Verify fuel quantity.
Imagine if all the aircraft people had airlines, all the aircraft makers. Anyway, confirmed.
Roger. The fuel quantity has been checked. Captain, do you wish to start the ACARS logging system at this time?
Negative.
Understood. Captain, the fasten seatbelt signs
Fasten
should be on.
seatbelt signs on. Fasten seatbelt signs on.
Fasten seatbelts on. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Elevator properly set for takeoff. The throttles are idle. Captain, are the engine areas clear?
Yes, they are.
The engine areas are clear.
On full screen.
The anti-collision light is on. Captain, do we require a pushback?
Negative.
Understood. The before startup checklist has been completed.
Startup checklist.
I will now run down the startup checklist. Fire up number 2.
Fire up number 2.
Starting number 2.
Okay, let's get these engines coming on.
Waiting for fuel flow on number 2.
These are new sounds. They're quite nice. They're from Skysong Soundworks. Recommend
Confirming
all
that
their
N1 is
sounds.
increasing as N2 is increasing
They're
on
not
number
free
2.
though. They're not bad.
Confirming oil
This-
pressure number 2.
This cost about $10.
Engine number 2 generator on.
Engine number 2 generator on.
Engine number 2 generator is on and checked. Fire up number 1.
Fire up number 1.
Starting number 1. Waiting for fuel flow on number 1.
Yeah, you can see the difference with FSX Pilot. We just took off, so this is kind of real world procedure, and this is how.
Confirming that N1 is increasing as
or
N2
what
is
happens
increasing
because
on
you
number
really
1.
have to get the plane
Confirming oil pressure number 1.
ready.
Engine number 1 generator on.
Engine number 1 generator on. Nice sounds.
Engine number 1 generator is on and checked. Anti-ice as required.
Confirmed. Confirmed.
The anti-eye settings are set as required. Shut down the APU. Shut down the APU. The APU has been shut down. Have you received the salute release signal?
Affirmative.
The startup checklist has been completed.
Full taxi checklist. Go to
Roger.
safety.
I will run down the before taxi checklist. Flight controls.
Confirmed.
The flight controls free and correct. Taxi lights on.
Taxi lights on.
The taxi lights are on. Standby instruments.
Confirmed.
The standby instruments have been set. Avionics set for departure.
Set the avionics for departure.
Avionics are now on and checked.
Confirmed.
The avionics are set for departure. Autopilot off. The autopilot is off. The auto throttle is off. Airspeed set.
Confirmed.
Airspeed set. Flight director on.
Flight director on.
The flight director is on. Yaw damper. The flight director is on.
Yaw damper on.
Yaw damper set and checked.
And what the yaw
Auto
damper
brake set
does
to
is
RTO.
basically stops the plane from kind of rocking on takeoff, basically. And the auto brakes are if we need to eject the takeoff. Set the auto brakes to RTO.
Auto brake set to RTO. Elevator properly set for
Oh,
takeoff.
hello Munchkins.
Request taxi clearance.
We've flown into Munich in a 727 and we're now taking off again for Madrid. Say again. Request taxi
Request
clearance.
taxi clearance. Please wait.
I do like using ATC with this because it's difficult with FSX pilot. Unit ground. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. So we're taxiing to runway 8 left where we're taking off. We have taxi clearance.
Roger. Taxi clearance has been obtained. Heading indicator set to take off heading.
Set the heading for runway 8 left. Set.
Heading set to 082 for runway 8 left. The heading has been set. The before taxi checklist has been completed.
Taxi checklist.
Roger. I will run down the taxi checklist. Captain. We are clear on the right.
Yes, we are.
Are we clear on the left? Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes off.
Parking brakes have been released. We are ready to taxi.
Mike, let's taxi to and hold short of runway 8 left.
Roger. Taxi to and hold short. Captain. We're holding short.
Okay.
The taxi checklist has been completed.
Before takeoff checklist.
Roger. I will run down the before takeoff checklist. Flight attendants. Prepare for takeoff. Captain. Ensure that the flaps are set for takeoff.
What are the flap positions? What are the flap positions? What are the flap positions?
The flap positions in degrees are 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, and 40.
Flaps 15.
Flaps set to 15. Spoilers fully retracted. The spoilers are fully retracted. Flight instruments.
Confirmed.
The flight instruments have been checked. Check engine instruments.
Confirmed.
The engine instruments are functioning properly. Captain, confirm that we have the correct V1, VR, V2 takeoff data. V1, 120. VR, 125. V2, 128.
Confirmed.
We have the V1 VR V2 data in hand. Navigation equipment.
Confirmed.
The navigation equipment is functioning properly. Request takeoff
Request
clearance.
takeoff clearance.
Please wait.
Munich Tower 234, ready for IFR departure. Runway 8 left. 234, cleared for takeoff. Runway 8 left.
Acknowledge. We have clearance.
Takeoff. Runway 8 left. 234.
Roger. Pitot heater set as required.
Pitot heater on.
Pitot heater on. Landing lights on.
Landing lights on.
The landing lights are on. Taxi lights off.
Taxi lights off.
Taxi lights off. Strobe lights on.
Strobe lights on.
The strobe lights are on. Transponder on auto.
Confirmed.
The transponder's on auto. Confirm captain's clock is running.
Confirmed.
The before takeoff checklist has been completed.
Takeoff checklist.
Roger, I will execute the takeoff and climb out checklists. Do you want me to assist you?
Affirmative.
Roger. Would you like me to maintain an optimized airspeed throughout the flight?
Affirmative.
Roger, I'll take care of the airspeed. Captain, it's your plane. Release parking brakes. Okay, we're all set.
Okay, let's get moving. I'd like you to handle the takeoff. I would like you to handle the takeoff. I'd like you to handle the takeoff.
Roger.
Here we go.
Applying takeoff thrust.
Let's move.
Knots.
It's 80 knots.
V1.
V1.
Rotate.
Rotate. Let's lift us up.
V2.
V2 airborne.
Positive rate of climb. Gear up.
There goes gear. Now contacting Munich departure.
Auto throttle on.
There goes auto throttle.
Airspeed set. Autopilot on. Altitude hold on.
Acknowledge.
Heading hold on. Flaps 5.
Contact next controller.
Aye, Captain. Going to 118.82.
Contact the departure.
3,000, 1,800, 231.
Okay, that's good. At 3,000. Turn right heading
Flaps up and
235.
trim. Aircraft clean. Heading set to 225.
Set heading 235. Acknowledge.
235. 4,000, 1,600, 242.
There we go. So it told us to turn right to a heading and then proceed on course towards the airport.
$5,000,
That's an outside
1,800,
view.
250.
Turn right heading 265. Acknowledge.
Heading set to 265.
So they've given us another heading. Another heading change.
6,000, 1,800, 256. Current heading 265.
Okay. They haven't told us to resume on GPS yet, so we'll just leave it for now on that heading. Just see how far it is. Get distance to destination.
Distance to Lima, Echo, Mike, Delta, 809 miles.
Oh, okay.
Airport
8
altitude, 2,000 feet.
That's alright, I
7,000,
guess.
1,800, 262.
Shouldn't take us that long to get there. It's a bit longer than the the first flight, but doesn't mean it's necessarily going to take longer because we're in a different plane anyway.
$8,000, 1,800, 252.
But yeah, because there's a few people on here who seem to be wanting to get it. You can contact me at b_flightsimmer on Twitter, or email me at blindflightsimmer44@gmail.com if you want any help or tips or anything setting it up. I mean, it's pretty simple. The only difficult part might be getting the game off Steam. If you know how to navigate Steam, it's alright. Other than that, you might just need to get sighted assistance because it's a bit of a pain, to be honest, really. It's just really difficult. Once you've actually got the game installed, it's fine.
$10,000, 1,800, 247. Check
They
landing
haven't
lights.
told us to resume on nav yet, but I'm going to do it in a minute. Resume on navigation.
234, contact Munich Center on 120.65.
Landing lights off.
The landing lights are off.
Acknowledge. Resume on GPS navigation.
234.
Resume GPS navigation.
Roger.
There we go, I've
Resuming
got command.
GPS navigation.
Contact next controller.
11,000, 1,800, 253. Going to 120.65.
Munich Center.
Munich Center.
At 11,200, climbing 14,000. 234, Munich Center, roger, altimeter 2992. 234, turn left, heading 235, proceed on course.
Oh, they're not happy with our heading. Turn left heading 235. Acknowledge.
Captain, I have set the navigation GPS switch to navigation.
I resumed
Heading set
on
to
nav and it
235.
didn't like it.
Roger.
234,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer. I have turned off the fasten seatbelt sign and you are free to move about the aircraft. However, while in your seats, I suggest that you do as we do up front, and keep your seatbelts fastened at all times. Thank you. Current heading 235.
Right, I'll see if they give us any more. Come and resume now. Resume GPS navigation.
13,000.
Resume GPS navigation.
Roger. Resuming GPS navigation.
There we go. They're probably just going to say, oh no, you can't do that, and put me back on another heading. But whatever. We can try. As soon as you're on nav.
234, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Okay, up to 220.
14,800.
Climb and maintain flight level 220. Climb and maintain flight level 220.
Level at 14,000.
Set altitude 22,000.
Descend and maintain 2,000.
234,
Roger.
Climb and maintain flight level 220.
Copy. Up to flight level
Acknowledge.
220.
climb and maintain
There we go.
220.
That was a bit of a strange thing. It's trying to descend. We want to climb.
18,000, 2,600, 280.
This is from, well, it's called Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. I don't think it's made in 2016. I think it was a bit earlier than then. It might be 2014 or something, this particular one. But it's the best version you can get, essentially.
16,000, 2,700, 290.
There's this, or there's another one called P3D, which is essentially the same thing. It was just made a little bit later than this, so you can get either of those off Steam. Yeah, that's what it's called, Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
17,000, 2,800, 290.
Well, we're not landing yet, Munchkins, but yeah, it's good that we've got people watching. Got a way to go yet before we land.
18,000, 2,800, 293.
Road travel 4833, northwest 04 miles, southwest, turn right, heading 090, descend and maintain flight level 210, expect vectors ILS, runway 8
Captain,
approach,
I have set the altimeter to standard.
turn right, heading 090.
There we go, altimeter's obviously on standard there.
Runway 8 right, approach, road travel 4833.
20,000, 2,800, 295.
Okay, we're almost up to 2,000. I think it was 2,000 or something I set for the cruise for this flight, because I made this this flight plan a while ago. Well, it wasn't a while ago. It was a couple of hours ago before I started the stream, and obviously had to
Ladies and
fly
gentlemen, my name is Mike.
to
I'm the co-pilot sitting up here in the right seat. We thank you for flying
Munich
with us
in
today, and I will be
727.
pointing out things and places of interest during our flight. We just crossed over the city of Dachau Gravenry. For those of you sitting on the right
No
side of
idea
the
what that
aircraft, you might be able to see the lights of Schwabmünchen coming up momentarily.
I guess these are all
And
German
in addition,
places,
glow from the lights of
cities.
Lechfeld. And looking backwards, you will see the lights of Augsburg. We'll be heading over Landsberg in less than 2 minutes. Thank
Climb
you.
and maintain flight level
21,000,
300.
2,800, 296. 22,900, 300. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
Acknowledge.
Roger.
Acknowledge. Oh, it's gone into the flight plan thing. There we go. Because I said acknowledge twice, it does that.
Twenty-three thousand, 2,600, 298.
Travel 4833, turn left, heading 060. Turn left, heading 060. World travel 4833.
24,000, 2,700, 293. $25,000, 2,500, 291. $26,000, 2,200, 287.
World travel 4833, descend and maintain 13,000.
Plus with ATC you get to hear all the planes around you.
World travel 4833.
$27,000, 2,000, 286. 28,000, 1,600, 286. 29,000.
I suppose I got into it because, well, years ago I saw people doing it on YouTube, and I always thought, you know, oh, I'd love to do that because I've always been interested in aviation, but I thought, well, no, that's just too complicated. And then there was a game released which was an audio game called Eurofly. If you're on the audio games forum, you might have seen a lot about that. It's a pretty unrealistic flight simulator, but I was really excited and I got that, and I was like, well, you know, this is great. And then I was like, well, this isn't very realistic. I thought, well, you know, I'm a bit more I'm better on computers than I was now. I know what I'm doing, so why not have a look at this other game, Microsoft Flight Simulator, which seems way more realistic, and I'd seen other people doing it on YouTube. So yeah, I gave it a go and got it, and climb and maintain flight level 320.
Copy.
Acknowledge.
Up to flight level 320. $30,600, 292.
Acknowledge.
Crossing over Kilo Papa Tango.
Yeah, so I got it. I got your plane with it, which is what I'm using now. Took me probably, I don't know, a couple of days to get the whole thing
40 miles.
Installed and set up.
265.
And it probably took me about a couple of days to actually work out how to use it. But you know, now I know how to do it. I can always help people who need help. And then I used tutorial videos for this on YouTube, and people who I'd seen using it your plane before, because obviously there's all the checklist and you have to know all the right responses to the items. So that's probably the thing that takes the longest time. You kind of say something like, oh no, that's not the right response, what was I supposed to say, what was I supposed to say? So that took a bit of time, but it probably didn't take me that long until I was flying around pretty confidently. And with FSX Pilot, which is the actual thing that's only available
this is the
now.
first officer once again. We just crossed over the city of Altenstadt.
Well, that's even
For
more
those of
simple. You
sitting
don't
on the
have to do
right side of the
checklists
aircraft,
at all.
You might be able to see Tannheim. And looking backwards, you will see the city of Algon. For those of you sitting on the left, if you look backwards, you might be able to see Kempten. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to do checklists at all. It will do the takeoff, it will do the landing. You can just do whatever you want with it, and, you know, set the speed and things yourself. So yeah, that is FSX Pilot will simplify it a lot more than this. It's your plane, which is a bit more difficult to learn.
$32,500.
Yeah, that is definitely the advantage of this game. It has way better sounds, like engine start and takeoff. Eurofly's just awful for sounds, really. And yeah, the radios, the ATC is a lot better, because you have to get clearance, taxi clearance, takeoff clearance. You know, it gives you climbs and everything up to your altitude slowly. And there's obviously artificial planes, which are randomly generated but are like real life. It's way more realistic, yeah. Like you said, the sounds are better like now and things. You can really hear it powering up the engines to climb and things, and rolling along the runway when you take off. Because I used to play Eurofly all the time, but I pretty much just abandoned it now and went for this, because it's just so much more realistic. And you know, it's a shame your plane isn't available, but it's nice for me because I can just if I want to do a flight like this, totally realistic, I can. If I just want to mess around and take a Cessna up or something and just do a few touch and goes, or just kind of fly around a bit, then I can use FSX Pilot, and it doesn't take a lot The only problem with your plane as well is it doesn't support that many aircraft. It supports the default aircraft, and that's it. Well, there are some add-on ones, but they're not fabulous really.
Cruising altitude of 32,000 feet.
Oh, and I like this though,
Our current
that
ground
it
speed
gives
is 791
this.
kilometers per hour, or 491 miles per hour.
Yeah, this is nice, the cruise info.
The temperature outside the aircraft is currently minus 48 degrees Celsius, or minus 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Our estimated flying time to Madrid will be approximately 1 hour, 54 minutes. We're happy to have you aboard with us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of our flight.
In sight.
Thank you.
Report traffic in sight. That's another thing you don't have in your fly traffic. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it doesn't support many aircraft. Well, because when I first got it, I love flying the defaults, but then you get a bit bored of those, and you're like, I want to fly some more. It doesn't support all of them. FSX Pilot, you can add them. There's no guarantees it'll fly them accurately, but it's yeah, you can fly more aircraft with it.
Captain, I recommend that we execute the cruise checklist.
Okay then, although everything will be fine as usual. Cruise checklist.
Do you want me to run through the cruise checklist? Roger. I will perform the cruise checklist. Flight instruments.
Confirmed.
The flight instruments have been checked. Check engine instruments.
Confirmed.
The engine instruments are functioning properly. Verify fuel quantity.
Say again.
Verify fuel quantity.
Fuel quantity.
Our total fuel quantity is 1,552 gallons, 5,874 liters. Crossing over November Echo Golf Romeo Alpha.
Confirmed.
Distance to next waypoint, 11 miles.
Obviously we've
Bearing
got waypoints
266.
as well, which is nice.
Roger. The fuel quantity has been checked. Radio set.
Confirmed.
The radios are properly set. Checklist completed.
There we go. Wow, the ATC's busy around here. Loose centre for us. Acknowledge handoff. Acknowledge. Contact next controller.
Going to 126.22.
Oh, okay. Just announces there, you can see with you flight level 320, just to let them know where we are. And we're just on their centre now. It's always quite hectic with it, you're playing on approach. You have to do the approach checklist at the right time to kind of put it in approach mode. So it'll do the flaps and everything for you and the speeds.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer again. We just crossed over the city of Friedrichshafen.
And I do
For those
like
of you sitting
these
on the
flight
left side of the
following
aircraft,
things.
if you look backwards,
You can see
you
where
might
you
be able
are.
to see the glow from the lights of Pullendorf. For those of you sitting on
Not
the
that I
left,
know where any
you
of
might
these
be able to
places
see
are,
Constance.
but
We'll be
anyway.
crossing over the city of Binningen in less than 2 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, I've thought about that. That would be nice, really. Some kind of merge between them. Because they're both kind of report them in. Report traffic in sight. Report traffic in sight. Report traffic in sight. Yeah, they definitely do have pros and cons, but yeah, we could definitely have a nice merge. Don't think it's going to happen, but would be nice. Sometimes you use one, you think, you know, I'd love to have that feature, like with FSX Pilot, like what am I flying over and things like that. It's
Crossing over Kilo Uniform Delta Echo Sierra.
wow, things are really busy up here in the ATC. Don't always see it this busy.
Distance to next waypoint, 28 miles. Bearing, 235.
Get distance to destination.
Distance to Lima, Echo, Mike,
What's the
Delta,
code for Madrid?
684 miles.
Okay.
Airport altitude, 2,000 feet.
This issue plane is usually accurate with landings. Say that I did a video where I flew to Portugal and it didn't slow the plane down on the runway much, and we hit some trees and went onto a beach. So yeah, it's usually accurate. Because if you don't get any add-on planes, this is like the plane you fly most with It's Your Plane. You know, I've had people with It's Your Plane say, I'm so bored of flying this stupid 737 because you fly it so much. Because if you want a jet, FSX default planes, you've got your Airbus A321, 737, 747 and a Learjet. It's pretty much it for your long range jets. And the 747 annoyingly uses the 737 default sound. It doesn't even have its own sound, which is why I got a sound pack for it. But you know, if you don't get planes, then this is like a common one that people fly with It's Your Plane. Obviously, you can't get it anymore, so that's not really an issue now. But
Crossing over Delta India Tango Oscar November. Distance to next waypoint, 18 miles. Bearing, 237. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer again. We just flew over the city of Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
For those of you sitting on the right side of the aircraft, you might
That's
be
a
able to
place
see
I can,
Frickelscup Park.
you know,
And looking backwards,
understand.
you will see the glow from the lights of Beerfeld. Those sitting on the left, might be able to see the glow from the lights of Emmet. And the city of Budwil, coming up in a few minutes. We'll be heading over Luzern-Beremunster, in about 1 minute. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with that 727 landing that we made, I'll need to do some experimenting with that plane tomorrow and work out what happened there, because we landed way too fast with FSX Pilot. It was like minus 1,000 something feet, so yeah. I don't know if it stopped, like reduced it right at the end because I didn't look, but just before we landed. But anyway, in the real world you would never land like that. This plane is a modern plane, but it's, you know, there are so many of them flying around in real life. I saw on a forum the other day someone called it the Toyota of the sky. It's boring but effective, basically. There's so many of them. They do the job. They're not the best plane ever or the most interesting, but right, I'm just
Crossing over Sierra Uniform Romeo Echo Papa.
just going to go for a second. I will be back in a minute.
Distance to next waypoint, 16 miles. Bearing, 232. Okay, I'm back. I was watching the stream on my phone, so I saw we didn't get any Crossing over Kilo Oscar November Oscar Lima.
radio calls.
Distance to next waypoint, 17 miles. Bearing, 231.
Actually recently filmed one of these anyway, twice actually, so I'm quite familiar with it at the minute. And like I said on the last video, I actually went in the cockpit, which was a good experience. Very nice flight cruise.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer again. Those sitting on the right side of the aircraft might be able to see the city of Wildevelen. And looking backwards, you will see Grenchen. For those of you sitting on the left, if you look backwards, you might be able to see the city of Interlaken. And in addition, the glow from the lights of Thun. We'll be heading over Bern in about 1 minute.
Yeah, I know
Thank
where
you.
they are. They're Swiss cities. Obviously heading over Switzerland right now.
Crossing over Kilo
Across
Oscar
Spain.
Romeo Echo Delta.
I think I don't know if we've actually gone to Munich, kind of flown past Spain and then going back to it now. But anyway, we're just flying around Europe. I should probably do some flights around like America and stuff, because you know that's where some people on Dream will be. But I don't know where to fly from in America. I'm not really very, you know. I mean, I know places to fly from, but don't know kind of the geography of it all in terms of what places are relatively close to each other. So I'm not doing like a 6-hour flight. Geneva Centre. I acknowledge handoff. Contact next controlling. Yeah, I could do some flights around America, I suppose. Like
Going to
I said,
125.55. Distance to next waypoint, 23 miles. Bearing, 230.
Destination.
Distance to Lima, Echo, Mike, Delta, 593 miles.
Okay.
Airport altitude, 2,000 feet.
Get flight time to destination.
Estimated flying time to Lima, Echo, Mike, Delta, 1 hour, 34 minutes. Estimated time of arrival, 4:44 UTC. Crossing over Sierra Oscar Sierra Alpha Lima. Distance to next waypoint, 14 miles. Bearing, 230. Crossing over Mike Oscar Lima Uniform Sierra. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer again. We just flew over the city of Acubilis. Those sitting on the right side of the aircraft might be able to see Lausanne. We'll be flying over the city of La Côte in a few minutes. Thank you. Distance to next waypoint, 46 miles. Bearing, 222.
Contact next controller.
Switching over now. Going to 120.85.
Marseille Center 234 with you. 234 Marseille Center, roger.
Oh, Australia. I've never flown around there. Well, I'm thinking of doing a London to Sydney flight as like a marathon flight at some point, and trying to stream it. I'll have to have a break in the middle, but I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah.
Hi, this is the first officer once again. For those of you sitting on the
But I
left
could
side
do
of the
some
aircraft,
flights around
you might be able to
Australia.
see the glow from the lights of Annecy, France, coming up momentarily.
No, France.
We'll be flying over the city of Chambéry in less than 2 minutes. Thank you.
Get flight time to destination.
Estimated flying time to Lima, Echo, Mike, Delta, 1 hour, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Estimated time of arrival, 4:43 UTC. Crossing over Oscar Mike Alpha Sierra India.
Contact London Center, Flight 1,
Acknowledge.
Distance to next waypoint, 17 miles. Bearing, 221.
Acknowledge.
Going to 124.5234.
Contact next controller.
Roger. Going to 124.5.
London Center 234, with you, flight level 320, 034, London Center, roger.
Crossing over Sierra Oscar Papa Lima Oscar. Distance to next waypoint, 16 miles. Bearing, 221. Crossing over Golf India Papa November Oscar.
flight time to destination.
Estimated flying time to Lima, Echo,
Trying to see if
Mike,
it's going
Delta,
down a bit
1
with
hour,
the,
21 minutes.
Okay.
Estimated time of
Yeah,
arrival,
we'll see what's
4:43 UTC. Hi, this is the first officer once again. We just flew over the city of Chambéry. For those of you sitting on the right side of the aircraft, you might be able to see Lyon. We'll be heading over the city of Grenoble in about 1 minute. Thank you.
Get distance to destination.
Distance to Lima, Echo, Mike, Delta, 495 miles. Airport altitude, 2,000 feet. Distance to next waypoint, 35 miles. Bearing, 242. Crossing over Echo Tango Romeo Echo Kilo. Distance to next waypoint, 22 miles. Bearing, 241. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first officer again. We just flew over the city of St. Rambert d'Alban. For those of you sitting on the left side of the aircraft, if you look backwards, you might be able to see the glow from the lights of Valence. Thank you. Crossing over Lima Alpha Tango Alpha Mike. Distance to next waypoint, 53 miles. Bearing, 241.
Well, I think I'm unfortunately going to have to end it here, just because it's getting quite late here. I have to get up early in the morning or something, so I can't keep flying, and we've got about another hour to go, which I just pretty much can't do. I was hoping we might make it, but I don't think we are. I will do this flight again at some point. I will re-upload. Well, we've done a lot this stream. I've done a demo which you're playing on this. I will do a flight to Madrid. I'll do it from France, which is where we're at, somewhere in France anyway. And I will do that to make up for this, but it's just pretty much now I don't have. But and also there's pretty much only one person watching, 2 people watching, and thank you to them for sticking around this long, but I'm just not going to be able to carry on with it. So if there's anyone who does want to ask me any questions, I'll be doing a stream probably again soon, and yeah, so thanks for watching, and sorry we couldn't get to the end, but we did land in the 727, and we've done a demo of the issue plane on this. So yeah. Thanks for watching the stream, everyone who did, and this will be archived and up on the channel later. Thanks and bye.